What's up, the squad? It's Cess, your favorite Auntie with Uncle Tendencies. Welcome back to Cess Talks Sports. Big love to all the loyal fam holding it down. And if you're new, welcome. Before we get rolling, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you never miss a drop. Throw a like on this video, drop a comment and share it so I know you pulled up. Now let's talk point guards. The SEC is the toughest conference in the country. Every night is a dogfight. Every possession matters. And if you don't have a floor general who can control the game, you ain't making it to March. We got disruptors, scorers, veterans, even a hype freshman stepping in. But only one of them has the resume, the rings, the defense, and now the improved shooting consistency to continue her reign as the best point guard in the SEC. That's right. Raven Hollywood Johnson still sits on the throne. Y'all know Big Bird hold that down. Picture this. The 2025-26 SEC season tips off, and the energy is going to be electric. By now, listen, y'all, Texas and Oklahoma ain't the new kids. They've been through one full year of SEC wars. They felt what it means to go from a Thursday night at home to a Sunday showdown in a packed arena where every fan base smells blood. Texas came in and showed they could hang, with Rori Harmon leading that ship. Oklahoma flashed upside, but now the Sooners raised the stakes by unleashing a healthy senior in Reagan Beers and bringing in freshman Aaliyah Chavez. Meanwhile, Tennessee retooled under Kim Caldwell, with Talaysia Cooper emerging as their disruptive guard who thrives in chaos. Kentucky brought in Tonie Morgan, and that's a do-it-all floor general who wants to prove she belongs among the elite. And in Columbia, oh yeah, South Carolina, we as deep as ever, pairing the nation's top returning defensive point guard in Raven Johnson with the nation's leading scorer tonight, Latson. This isn't just a conference, it's a gauntlet, a place where one bad quarter can bury you in the standings, and one smart decision at the point guard spot can decide who lifts the trophy in March. And this year, all eyes are on the floor generals, the ones who don't just score points, but control the pulse of every possession. This is the SEC. It just means more. We put the spotlight squarely on 6 names: Talaysia Cooper from Tennessee, Tonie Morgan from Kentucky, Aaliyah Chavez from Oklahoma, tonight Latson in South Carolina, Rori Harmon at Texas, and Raven Johnson in South Carolina. Each brings a different archetype to the floor. But when you measure the role of a point guard, control, decision-making, defense, and winning equity, only one has the complete package. But we're going to walk through them all. Let's start with Tennessee's disruptor, Talaysia Cooper. She comes off a breakout year at Tennessee where she averaged 16.6 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.2 assists a night, while leading the entire SEC in steals at 3.1 per game, a number that also ranked top 10 nationally. Her defensive instincts earned her a spot on the SEC All-Defensive Team and recognition as a semifinalist for the Naismith DPOY Defensive Player of the Year award. Cooper is chaos in sneakers. At 6 feet tall, she overwhelms smaller guards with size and athleticism, and her instincts in the passing lanes are elite. She even had a 9-steal performance last season. But with all that production comes risk. She also averaged 3.5 turnovers a game, finishing with a sub-1 assist to turnover ratio. That kind of sloppiness can kill possessions in big SEC matchups. With Tennessee and South Carolina clash, Cooper's disruptive nature meets Raven's composure. Raven's assist to turnover ratio north of 3.0 is the antidote to Cooper's chaos. In those moments, Cooper's gamble-heavy defense gets exposed by Raven's patience and vision, turning Tennessee's steals into empty swipes while South Carolina controls the tempo. Now let's look at Kentucky's new engine, Tonie Morgan. At Georgia Tech last year, Tonie Morgan stuffed the stat sheet with 13.7 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game, while shooting an efficient 48.9% from the floor. She has over 1,200 career points, nearly 550 rebounds, and almost 500 assists. And she's been recognized with 2 All-ACC second-team honors and an All-Tournament team selection. Morgan does a little bit of everything. She can drive into the paint, finish through contact, and find her teammates with sharp passing reads. She even recorded a trip dub against Clemson, 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 14 assists. That definitely shows off her all-around impact. But her three-point shooting sits at just 25%, which means defenses pack the paint and force her to prove she can beat them from deep. She's versatile and battle-tested, but in a league full of killers, her lack of range caps her silly. When Kentucky meets South Carolina, Morgan's versatility is up against Raven's discipline. Raven can sag and clog passing lanes without worrying about Morgan's outside shot, turning her drives into traps. It's steady versus steady, but Raven's championship experience gives her the edge every time. Now let's look at Oklahoma's hype machine, Aaliyah Chavez. As a senior at Monterey High in Texas, Aaliyah Chavez averaged 34.9 points, 9.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 3.7 steals per game, finishing her prep career with nearly 5,000 career points. She was named Gatorade and Naismith National Player of the Year, won the McDonald's All-American three-point contest, and took home MVP honors at the Jordan Brand Classic. She enters the SEC with all the hype in the world. She can score from 25 feet out, break it down off the dribble, and finish in traffic like she's already a pro. The accolades in high school numbers staggering. But here's the reality. She hasn't played a college game yet, and even in high school, she was streaky. Dominant in some games, inefficient in others. In the SEC, where defenses are faster and smarter, that inconsistency will be magnified. Until she proves she can do it against veterans every night, her resume has more potential than proof. A freshman versus a two-time national champ, this matchup will show the difference between potential and proof. Chavez may put up highlights, but Raven's suffocating defense and poise will turn those scoring bursts into streaky stretches. Experience beats hype in March, and Raven owns that edge. South Carolina's bucket getter, Talaysia Latson. Let's talk about her. At Florida State in 2024-25, Talaysia Latson led the nation in scoring with 25.2 points per game, while also adding 4.4 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and nearly 2 steals. She shot 45% from the floor, 33% from three, and 84% from the line. She's already a 3-time All-ACC first-team selection, Wooden All-American, and former WBCA National Freshman of the Year. Latson is pure firepower. She's a 3-level scorer who can torch you at the rim, pull up in the mid-range, or knock it down from deep. What makes her dangerous now is that she doesn't have to carry a team on her back like she did at Florida State. Plugged in the South Carolina system, she gets to focus on what she does best, put points on the board. The distinction, though, is clear. Latson is a scorer first, not a pure facilitator. That's why having Raven Johnson next to her is such a nightmare pairing for defenses. Raven runs the show, and Latson detonates. This is a rivalry with Raven. It's a partnership. Together, Raven and Latson form the most balanced backcourt in the nation. Raven controlling tempo, Latson torching nets. If Latson is the fire, Raven is the oxygen making it spread. No other SEC duo can match that chemistry. Now let's look at the Texas commander, Rori Harmon. Over her Texas career, Rori has averaged 10.9 points, 6.2 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 2.4 steals per game. Also earned honors like Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year in 2023, 3 AP All-America honorable mentions, and Big 12 Tournament Most Outstanding Player back in 2022. She's already second all-time in Texas in career assists, top 10 in steals. Harmon is as steady and tough as they come, pressures the ball, directs traffic, and knows how to set up teammates in scoring positions. She's a coach's dream because she's an extension of the game plan on the floor. But when we compare resumes, the gap is clear. Harmon hasn't won national titles or put her stamp on the biggest stages the way Raven has. And her shooting, just 26.5% from three. These defenses are going to live with her taking jumpers. She's good, even very good at times, but she hasn't broken through into true greatness. Head-to-head with Raven, listen, this is the matchup fans circle. 2 floor generals, 2 defensive anchors, but the difference is hardware. Raven has rings, Harmon doesn't. Raven owns championship moments, Harmon doesn't. And when it comes to knocking down an open jumper, Raven's improved stroke gives her the edge while Harmon still struggles. Now let's talk about South Carolina's championship pilot, Hollywood Johnson, also known as Big Bird. Raven Johnson enters this season with a resume that no other SEC guard can touch. At 5'9" with a 6'2.5" wingspan, she's got the physical tools, and she's already produced at the highest level. During our undefeated 2023-24 national championship run, she averaged 8.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 2.1 steals while shooting 44% from the field and 35% from three. Most impressively, she posted an assist-to-turnover ratio of 3.09, first in the SEC, second nationally. On top of that, she's a 2-time NCAA champion, SEC All-Defensive Team member, All-SEC Second Team honoree, SEC All-Freshman, and a former Naismith Prep Player of the Year. Raven is the definition of a true point guard. She's the best on-ball defender in the nation, the one who flipped the 2024 title game by putting Caitlin Clark in handcuffs in the second quarter. She runs an offense with precision, making sure every possession ends where it should, and she doesn't beat her own team with mistakes. And this summer, she took it even further. Raven put in relentless offseason work, tightening her jumper, repping her mechanics, and by her own words, focusing on scoring the ball. She's back for Revenge Tour 2.0, and if she scores the way she defends, the SEC is on trouble. That's a nightmare scenario for every opponent. The league's most disruptive defender now becoming a legitimate scorer threat on top of her playmaking. Listen, against Cooper, she neutralizes chaos with control. Against Morgan, she takes away driving lanes and forces inefficiency. Against Chavez, she exposes youth with defense. With Latson, she builds the deadliest backcourt duo in the country. Against Harmon, she shows the gap between good and great by flashing rings Harmon doesn't have. Raven is the final boss of the SEC point guard gauntlet, and everyone else is playing catch-up. Raven doesn't need 20 a night to prove her point. Her genius is making sure her teammates shine. But if she consistently adds double-digit scoring or anywhere near it to her already generational defense and historic assisted turnover efficiency, South Carolina isn't just tough, we untouchable. That's why she's not just the best point guard in the SEC. She's the best floor general in the country, period. Cooper disrupts, I told y'all. Morgan balances. Chavez excites. Latson detonates. Harmon commands. But only Raven Johnson combines it all into winning basketball at the highest level. And now, after her offseason grind, she's coming back even sharper. The road to the SEC crown runs through Raven. All right, fam, drop your thoughts below. Who's the best point guard in the SEC? I want to see where y'all stand. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, smash that like, share this video, and hit the hype button at the end. This is Cess Talks Sports, where we always giving you the truth on rising stars and legends in the making. Y'all keep hooping. Stay tuned. Talk soon. I'm out. Fam,